So hey there, Julian, what are we doing today then?
Hi Joe, we are going to make a video on distance. Most golfers believe that they have to put a lot of force into hitting a long golf shot, but in this video I'm going to prove to you that that's not true.
And we see it time and time again, don't we? So why is it really important?
It's really important because it's technique that's going to hit it a long way, not force.
Oh, I love this. Let's go. Oh my God, flipping heck, what the heck's that? Coming up later then.
So a nice golf swing is often described as easy, effortless, graceful, efficient, but a poor golf swing is often force. So what I'll do now is demonstrate a poor golf swing, and then we'll show you the 7 steps to gaining that extra distance. Okay?
This is a poor golf swing then, yeah? Okay. Oh my God. That looks really awful. Last time you did that, you damaged your back.
I did. So I put a lot of force into that and it's only gone 174 yards. So step number 1 is setting up to the ball correctly. I've talked about this a million times before, but I am going to go over it again because it's super important. If we stand the wrong distance from the golf ball and your body's at poor angles, you can't bolt the golf swing on top of that. So just very simply go through the correct routine. So stand up lovely and tall, arms relaxed on your body, bend forward from your hips until the golf club hits the floor, and then just relax your knees. Where the club sits is where the golf ball should be. So now you're in a much more what I would call an athletic posture rather than just setting up to the golf ball hoping that you're going to hit it correctly.
Key point there is you move forward.
Absolutely.
Reminding everybody again, it's arms, hips, knees, and then move towards the golf ball.
So what I prefer people to do is deliberately stand a bit too far away from the golf ball to start off with, go through the routine and then nudge into the golf ball, rather than putting the club behind the ball, put your feet in and then hope that your body's in the correct position. It often isn't. So each change I make, I'm going to show you the increase in distance. So that one's now gone up to 182 yards. So step 2 is understanding tension and feeling at ease. I'm still going to make a poor golf swing, but even though my setup's better and my tension is better, you should start to see a gain in distance. So now that's crept up to over 185 yards. So step 3 is understanding body movement. What you may have seen in the first 2 swings, my body didn't really do a great deal. So body movement, integrate posture. Just going to put this across my shoulders. Turn right. So now I'm loading up my right side and I'm simply going to turn left. Now my weight's moved on to my front foot. So I'm turning my body and transferring my weight. So let's apply that to the shot and see what difference that makes. So now that I've moved my body better, the shot's now gone up to 209 yards.
But that looking so much nicer.
It's already feeling nicer, Jack.
Yeah, it looks so much better, doesn't it? So what we crept up from now?
From 170 to 209. So step number 4 is arm movement. Let's make sure we're using them correctly. So the first thing we need to do is make sure your arm's in a great state. So we don't want it locked up tight like everybody tells you, keep your arms stiff. If it's stiff, the muscles are short and tight, they don't work very well. In the backswing, we don't want to lift the arms because that affects the shoulder movement. It makes it much more difficult. As we've turned the body, the arms are more relaxed, but I'm not necessarily bending them. I'm just making sure that they feel more relaxed. I don't want to pull them around. I don't want to lift them up. I need them to match up with the way that your body's moving.
That looks really awful with your straight arm.
It feels terrible.
I was like wincing.
Yeah, absolutely. So the other thing is, so we've got it right in the backswing, we also need to make sure that we're doing it correct in the follow through. So as we turn, the body's moving here, you'll probably see that my arms are nice and extended, but not stretched. We've just got that lovely leverage here, and then it will fold to finish.
Here's the thing, pick up a ball and try and throw a ball with a straight arm.
With a straight arm.
Don't throw it at me.
So if this is really straight, or you're doing it this way, it all looks really weird. So there is mobility in the arms. That's going to help you release the club that much quicker. So if you're new to the channel, my name's Julian Mellor. I'm the founder of Proper Golfing Academy.
And I'm his other half, Jo Cameron, usually behind the camera. So if you need more in-depth information, check out propergolfingacademy.com. And if you're new to the channel, you might want to consider subscribing.
So now I'll hit a shot with better body movement, better arm movement. Now we're up to 227.
So what's the total increase so far then?
So we've gone from just over 170 to 227.
All with less effort though?
All with less effort. So step number 5 is the wrists, making sure that we're using them correctly. What you may have seen in the previous shots, I haven't really loaded my wrists up as I should be doing. So what do we want the wrists to do? So from here, imagine if I was throwing something. I could throw it quite a long way by using my wrists, but if I keep them stiff, it becomes more arms and not so much mobility with the wrist. So if I demonstrate hitting the smash bag, so on this one I'm just going to keep my wrist stiff. So you can probably see it goes here, and this will make an amount of noise. Okay, now watch what happens when I use my wrists.
Oh!
Makes quite a dramatic difference. So I'm loading them in the backswing and I'm unloading them back to impact. So many people use their wrists incorrectly. They try and hold on to this angle and the power and speed gets lost at impact. So I've just swapped to the driver just to demonstrate something. So if I get this swinging, Joe, is the club head swinging the grip or is the grip swinging the club head?
I've got no idea.
I would say the club head swinging the grip. Watch what happens when I swing the grip.
Oh.
So I'm moving that with a lot of force, but nothing's happening with the club head. And then when people go, you've got to pull the grip or you've got to pull the downswing, then the club head gets left behind and that's where you start to lose your distance.
I like that a lot. It's like a pendulum.
Yeah, it's very much like a pendulum. Swing the club head, not the grip. So now we'll add the wrist to the arm movement and the body movement.
Look at that.
So now that I've used my wrist properly, that's now gone up to 233 yards.
Do you think if you think speed, you get speed?
Not necessarily, you need to know where to put the speed in.
Oh, so it's not just about speed, it's where you put the speed
Where
in.
you put it in. So step number 6 is just blending it all together. So we want that good body motion, backwards and forwards. So we're transferring the weight, we're turning the body, we're not tilting the body too much. Put that on top of a good posture in a relaxed state. So we've got the body moving correctly. We want the arms not to stay straight because they're stiff and slow, but likewise we don't want to really bend the elbow either because we'll lose a little bit of width to your golf swing. So we're turning, the arms are staying comfortably long, and then from here we're adding the wrist movement. So that's where we're going to gain that extra club head speed in the backswing and the follow through. So it's really important we use the wrist correctly in both directions. So what I'll do now is I'll hit a shot blending them all together. Let's see if this makes a bit more difference in distance.
I like that blend. That's a good word, isn't it? Blending them all together.
It's a perfect word, Joe, yeah. So now the distance has crept up to 242 yards.
Well, so we started at what?
170.
And now we're at
242.
Blimey, just from doing those things without any effort.
Without any effort so far.
Awesome.
So step number 7, we're now going to add that little bit of extra distance. So I'm using my alignment rod. So the first swings felt a bit like this. So I was getting some speed, the body was moving great, but now I'm going to add the extra speed and hopefully you'll hear that around about the golf ball. So it's smooth. Now we're adding the speed to the golf swing. That's where we're going to gain that extra yardage.
That's like that towel thing that you used to do when you used to whip me with the towel.
Yeah. So really simple. If I hold this tight, tight hand, tight arm, tight shoulders, try and hit somebody with a towel, it's not really going to hurt them. But if I'm relaxed, now I've got the speed. That's what we're looking for, that extra little bit of oomph.
And you really did do that, didn't you?
So the last step, let's add that speed in where it really matters, which is maximum speed fractionally in front of the golf ball. Oh, what?
Flipping it. Look at that, straight down the line.
So now we're up to 278 yards.
So we've
That's
gone
a
from,
100-yard gain.
that really is an extra 100 yards just from doing those things.
Yeah, it is. It's just 7 simple steps, but once you blend them all together, that's when the magic happens.
And that's all without force, just
Yeah.
speed.
No, I didn't apply any force. It was just purely about good body movement, good wrist movement, and knowing where to put the speed in.
Awesome.
So I hope you found this video informative, and if you've gained some extra yardage, leave a comment in the box below. It'd be great to hear from you, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Take care. Bye.